Jeffrey Stacy. Jeffrey is a national security consultant, a former State Department official who's speaking to us from Washington. Is it going to become a confrontation, do you think, between Washington and Tehran?
Yes, I think it's likely headed in that direction precisely because Trump has vacillated and they've called his bluff, which means that the Revolutionary Guard is now incentivized to basically raise the ante even more. So they'll do that. They'll likely now engage in an even greater test of the West, of Saudi and the U.S., and possibly cross a red line that they don't perceive, miscalculate, and then we're in a conflict.
That's interesting. Do you think it's American inaction so far that has further emboldened the Revolutionary Guard? If that's the case, would military action
Absolutely
by
right.
the Americans then have the desired effect and try to at least dampen some of those excursions, because Iran has also been blamed for trying to disrupt shipping around the Gulf, apart from these attacks on the Saudi oil fields?
That's right. That's one of their options that they now have, and I'm afraid that's probably one of the things they're likely now to do. Ironically, unless the U.S. responds more forcefully, but clearly Trump is saying he does not want to do that. The Revolutionary Guard, internal communications between them suggest that that's their conclusion. They don't think he wants to strike, and so they're going to push and push and push and probably miscalculate and get struck.
Jeff, if you don't mind me calling you Jeff, if you were Secretary of State and you were trying to avoid a war, how would you advise the president?
So basically, he should have engaged after the drone was shot down. He should have engaged in a minimal military counterstrike that hit key assets, that didn't really hit any military personnel, and that would have calmed the situation down considerably. Now they're going to have to do a real show of force, and even though they've lost deterrence here, deterrence, once you've lost it, is very difficult to put back into place. They've rapidly got to do a show of force in the Gulf, otherwise Iran will put on even more pressure and probably make a serious miscalculation and grave mistake.
What are the calculations you think are actually going on in Iran? What is the aim behind successive actions that have been taking place? What can Iran possibly hope to gain from it?
They basically want the U.S. to go back to the deal, which is the one thing Trump says he won't do. It's almost a point of pride for him, and they should understand that. He got very close, and Iran has really screwed this up. He got very close to meeting Rouhani in New York, doing a deal, joining Macron with this bailout, and little by little, doing something he almost did with Afghanistan and get a big deal before his re-election. The Iranians should have understood that. This was a serious strategic miscalculation on their part. They had it right in their hands.
Jeffrey, thank you so much. Jeffrey Stacy, former State Department official, speaking to us from the American capital.